And joining me here in the studio is Professor Liu Zhiqin, a senior fellow at the Chongyang Institute for Financial Studies at Renmin University of China, and Professor Xia Lu, also from Renmin University of China. He's an associate professor at the School of Marxism Studies. Gentlemen, fantastic to have both of you on our program today. Professor Xia, why don't we start with you and talk about this resolution that the outside world is very much paying attention to. The Central Committee adopted a resolution on comprehensive deepening of reform to advance Chinese modernization. What is the significance of this resolution?
Well, actually, if we want to know the significance of the resolution, we could go to the history of this resolution. Not only about this resolution, but also to the entire program of Chinese modernization, because the Chinese modernization has already been promoted in the year 2019, and actually in the year 2020, in the fifth plenum of the 19th Central Committee, also mentioned the five features of the Chinese modernization. It's not only about China, but also about the whole developing world. So China has already set an example by pursuing the Chinese modernization to the other developing countries. So that's the first one. And the second significance, in my opinion, actually the resolution used two pairs of words to determine the significance. The first is a pair of between order and vitality, and the second is between efficiency and fairness. So I would like to say the resolution pay more attention to the balance rather than this kind of priority. So that would be the significance of the resolution.
Professor Liu, coming to your department now, let's also talk about the economy. The resolution says China will accelerate efforts to build a high-standard market economy, market system, and build a unified national market and refine the system underpinning the market economy. In terms of economic policies, what can we expect?
I should say, when we're talking about the market economy system, this is a very complex concept. It's not easy as a mechanism or economically, because there's the three words in the socialist, the market economy system. When we're talking about a system, that includes three parts. For instance, there's a mechanism to make the market operation, and the second in law system, because this system should cover the law system, not only for the market business environment. And the third is the market access and whether the opening up. So when the problem occurred in the economy, the market economy, we should solve this problem or disputes with market mechanism or market methods, not only by administrative or only by the governance or by some other measures. So this is a very important identification for the market economy system. That's why many people are talking about what's the real nature of the market economy system. So this is very important for us. So why China should unify the market as a whole, because in different regions and areas that we always have different idea and understandings about the system. So if we build up a high level, this unified market in China, so that we can have a unified policy to govern all the activities in this system. This is very important and a precondition for a smooth, sustainable development in China.
Professor Liu, staying with you, for outsiders looking in and for foreign businesses and people that are looking for signals and clues from the Third Plenum, one very important message is that China will continue high-standard opening up and expansion of unilateral opening up to the least developed countries. How important is continued opening up to China's future?
That is very important. I think this is very crucial. It's also our deadline, a lifeline for China. If we continue to open up, it's real opening up. This is very important for China's future, also for the world. So at the moment, I highly appreciate the one policy that adopted by our government is the free visa system or free visa regulation for many foreign countries come to China. In my idea, this is another WTO. The so-called WTO is that World Travel Outlets to China. So that make it more easier, more high efficient, more high qualified that the visit come to China. That's much better than any propaganda or diplomacy to make some sense. So in this way, that this step, I think, attracted many foreign media, foreign journalists, foreign visitors coming to China. So my friends in Europe, they came to China without noticing me. That I arrived here when they arrived at the Beijing airport. So they are so happy and they see so well developed. So in China with their own eyes, this is a very important thing. So that shows that China has a really great confidence in our own self, but also in the future. We show this confidence to the outside that makes the foreign investor to have more confidence to more efforts to invest in China. As I understand that many foreign companies are still trying to stay in China to make more investment, no matter what the government or their authority try to force them to leave China. So still they are willing to say that China is the best destination for their investment, because when they are trying to make profits, a better future, that is the place only in China.
I mean, the visa-free policy you mentioned obviously has been working. Just look at Beijing. There are visibly more foreign tourists on the streets in Beijing, indicating the success of that policy you mentioned. And Professor Xiao, let's also talk about education, because the resolution says China will deepen comprehensive reform of its education sector and structural reform in science and technology. Can you help our viewers understand what that means, what that entails?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much for the question. And this, the scientific, the technology reform, and also in the higher education, and also in the talent policy, echoing all the general lines stated in the 20th National Congress, the report of the 20th National Congress almost 2 years ago. So, in my opinion, in the future, what we can expect is more open, echoing what Professor Liu just mentioned, a more open-oriented policy in terms of the higher education, in terms of the communication and exchange between China and the rest of the world, because China has been benefited from the development of the cutting-edge technology. But in the future, maybe China will be or should be taking the responsibility of leading the world into the next stage of this kind of a higher, cutting-edge technology. For example, the core technology in terms of the engine in this kind of airplane, and also in terms of the AI, and also in other kind of very tiny but very significant designing and the manufacture in the future. So I think in the future we would be looking for, we would be expecting the more open and the more, let's say, issue-oriented, practice-oriented the scientific technology policy in the future. Right.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate both of your time and analysis. Thank you so much for coming in today.